guys, this is Mary Fulton with Mary Fulton Fit, and happy Wednesday, everybody. Today is our Mindset Wednesday. I always look forward to Mondays and Wednesdays because we've been working a lot on a lot of the stuff that I've been learning about state of mind and rituals and habits. And last week, if you were with me, hi Shane, how are you? If you were with me last week, we walked through the Dickens effect. And if you didn't get to do that one, please go over to my YouTube channel and watch that one because it's really effective in looking at your life, kind of like the story from Scrooge, and fast forwarding 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years in doing the same kind of habits that you're doing or the same story that you're stuck in that you want to get out of. But today we are going to talk about, well, hold on one second. Hello, welcome back.
He said to his Archer's mom, I can't come back.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a second, okay? So today we're going to talk about the what habits are holding you back. So I need you to interact with me today. So if you're out there, give me a thumbs up if you are ready to talk about the habits that are holding you back from the best version of you that you can be and to accomplish goals that you want. Give me some thumbs up if you're out there. Come on, got to interact with me. I got my little emoji, guys. Some thumbs up if you are ready. Okay, well, first thing we're going to talk about is procrastination. So procrastination is the leading silent killer of keeping us and holding us back from our goals. Small thing because it is a habit. Sometimes procrastination turns into a habit. You avoid certain things. Thank you for the thumbs up. I know somebody's out there. You know what? I'm going to tag some friends because you guys are quiet out there. We've only got one person. Let me tag a few more friends. But procrastination is what holds us back many a times, and it is a habit. Think about it. How many of you have been in school before? Give me a thumbs up. And you waited to the last minute to write that 20-page paper, right? And you stayed up until 3 in the morning. Avoidance behavior, right? You didn't want to have to do it, so you avoided it, right? How many of you avoid the taxes until, April 14th before you do your taxes? Yes? Okay, some people are big procrastinators out there, and some of us are not, right? Some of us get stuff done right away, but we all can create habits that keep us and hold us back from who we're supposed to be. So let's talk about that and dig a little bit deeper. How to create absolute consistent action to help you with your goals once you set your goals. Because a lot of times we have some goals that we want. Oh, I want to lose weight. I want to be a better mom. I really want to grow my business, right? You're throwing some things out there, right? But things hold us back. And maybe you've tried to do it over and over again and you're not sure what it is. I'm hoping that today might answer your question. It's the power of our rituals. So I'm going to say that again, the power of your rituals. So each one of us has our own rituals and kind of what we do. And without really knowing it, these rituals actually control us. They could be like a daily habit of the same thing that we keep doing over and over again. It's like self-sabotage of where you really want to go. So, for example, habits can control our daily lives. So let me give you this little quote. I really like this quote. Sow a thought and reap an action. Sow an action and reap a habit. Sow a set of habits and reap character. And then the last one is sow a character and you will reap your destiny. Wow, that one hit me really, really hard. And you can look at this and think about it in a positive way and think, wow, I'm really sowing good things right now. So sowing a good thought is going to reap a good action. Sowing a good action is going to reap that habit, right? And sowing a set of habits reaps character. And then sowing that character is going to reap your destiny. So, whoa, if it's a good positive thing, then you're like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing, beautiful tree blooming over here, growing. Or you've just set yourself up to death because you're sowing bad things, bad character, bad destiny, right? The great news is that you're here today and we can make changes always. Every day that we are alive, we have a new opportunity, a new moment to start new, to start fresh. And so let's look at what are your consistent thought patterns, because this is super important. Are you still with me? Give me some thumbs up if you're still out there. let's get some, and I'm going to get you interacting right now because I'm going to start asking you some questions. So be ready. Give me a thumbs up if you're still out there. You're listening. You're with me. Okay, so let's look at what are your consistent thought patterns. Thank you for the thumbs up that you have right now. So we are constantly creating habits. And remember that those habits create character, and character creates what? What does character create? Anybody know out there? Destiny, okay? And so some of these habits might not be good ones, right? So rather than letting these rituals affect you and control you, we want to reset these so that we can control the outcome and really get to our goals. So let's first talk about rituals that we do. What are some emotions that you guys have? Throw them out there that are, I want you to think about just these maybe ritual emotions that you get 2 to 3 times a week. Shout them out there. And I'm talking more about the negative emotions that you might feel. So who's got one out there for me? For me personally, I get really stressed out. So one of my go-to emotions is stress and freak out. Actually, my husband, since we've been married, he'll always sing to me, freak out, when I freak out. And I used to get mad at him all the time, but I'm like, he's right. I totally do freak out about little things, big things. I become a stress case. And so one of my go-to emotions that I go to, and it's a habit, is freak out, frustrated, get angry, usually with my children. And these are my go-to emotions. What are yours? Share them with me. Come on, put them in the chat box. What are some of your current emotions that you feel at least 3 times a week? Come on, share them with me. This is going to help us to be able to dig a little bit deeper into our habits and rituals. Come on, give me one. Nobody wants to share tonight. That's okay. Don't worry about it. So this is the ritual that we do. So for me, for example, one of my ritual things is to come home, and what strikes up these things, well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to give it all away yet, but it's a ritual that you do and a ceremony that you do over and over again. So you've created the habit of these negative emotions that are keeping you from your other goals, because we get stuck and we do them over and over again. Can you recall any in your life right now? Oh yes, thank you, Joni. When I get stressed out, I shut down. Amen. Thank you. I just want to give you a heart and the biggest happy face emoji out there for sharing. Yes, me too. I have a shutdown too. Okay, so we got to figure out how to break these, okay? But before we get there, you got to identify them. Hi, Albert. You got to identify those emotions. Anger, frustration, depression, sadness, feeling like you said, shut down, broken down. So all rituals, like holidays are rituals, right? What do we do at holidays? Everybody gets together, everybody brings their foods, everyone's happy, or everyone fights, whatever happens in your rituals at home, right? But what we want to do is create some positive rituals in our lives. So those limiting emotions that you have, 2 to 3 of them right now, I want you to write them down, type them in your phone. It's okay, Crystal, you don't have to talk, but I love that you put it down there so you get a big giant emoji just for interacting with me. Sometimes we don't want to share. It's okay. I get it. Okay, so give me those 5 emotions. Anybody want to throw them out there? Anybody who's jumped on wants to throw another emotion out there? I'm going to throw more out there for you. Frustration, anger, resentment. Any resentment out there, yeah? Overwhelmed. That's like the shutdown, right, Joni? Sad. Maybe quiet is one of them too, right, Crystal? Like shut down, like introvert, like boom, close down because I don't want to go there, right? Disappointment. And then I forgot this one, just maybe angry. I can't read my writing. So all of these emotions, right? We all feel them. And you might feel them mostly during the week more than others. Why? Why do we feel these things? Fear, anger, and jealousy. Thank you, Sally. I'm giving you all these guys right now for interacting. Thank you. So,
Mom, I need a friend.
Okay, you need to wait a minute, okay? I'll be done in 5 minutes. So, coming back to this, we're looking at expectations. Usually, we feel any of these tons of emotions because of expectation. We had an expectation and it wasn't met. It caused frustration, it caused anger, it caused disappointment. Or maybe it was an unrealistic expectation, right? So let me give you some examples. A mom comes home and the shoes are everywhere, clothes is everywhere, there's dishes in the sink. What happens? Well, this mom right here has a control freak problem. And so my expectations are down. Nobody lived up to my expectations of the perfect house. And so now I go into ultra grumpy, frustrated, mean mom, right? And that's my habit. Do you get it? And I do it probably every day, actually, not even 2 to 3 times a week. It's an overwhelming ritual. I have created this amazing ritual of anger and frustration because nobody picks up the house the way I want them to. And so therefore, I'm angry every day. That stinks, right? That's a horrible way to live. And you know what? Digging into this Tony Robbins stuff has really helped me see it. Because I might can tell that I'm grumpy or whatever, but I didn't realize that it's a ritual and a habit that I've done over probably the last 10 years of having kids. And so now it's ingrained in me. Think about that. 10 years of a ritual. Think about how we say it takes 21 days to make a habit, 90 days to make a change, 10 years, a decade of just getting angry about the same thing. How do I break this? I feel stuck. Anybody else feel like that out there? Can I get some thumbs up or hearts that you can relate to this? It might not be the same situation, but you are doing the same thing over and over again. It might be for a year, might have been for the last week, or maybe for the last 20 years. Well, that sucks. I've wasted a lot of part of my life and energy on this, right? And so what's great about this is first just taking that moment. Thank you so much for interacting with me, and realizing it. Oh shoot. And then the best part is that you can change it. Okay, so looking at it, finding it, and then knowing the root of the cause. Usually it's from expectations, disappointment, right? Somebody disappointed you, there's resentment. You expected something. This is really the root of all of these things. Anger, depression, all of those things, right? Nobody met the expectations you had. So now it's setting these habits and changing them, right? So, but first let's talk about it. He was sharing this story, Tony Robbins, in the little thing I was listening to, about somebody who always gets disappointed or depressed. So he actually had them, he's like, so how do you get depressed? Tell me how you get depressed. So let's walk through it. How do you get depressed, or how do you get angry? I can tell you, actually, I'll share anger because that one's more of the one that I jump into when I'm mad because people aren't cleaning up. So it starts out with I kind of get puffy in the chest. And then I feel this fire burning inside my chest, and my chest starts to tighten. And I'm like, there's the shoes. Take a deep breath. Oh no, there's the dishes. Oh no, they didn't do their chores again. And now I've already gotten into Hulk. I'm totally in Hulk mode. Right? So that's how I get into anger state. How do you get into your anger state or your depressed state? You actually have to get yourself there. You have to slump over in depression. Oh man, it's been a really bad day. And start carrying all the heaviness. So you've created anchors. These are anchors that are not good, that are keeping you from your goals, because now you've created these habits that are keeping you down in anger, in frustration, in disappointment, in overwhelmed. You're sad, all of these things, but we can break out of them is the good news. When things don't go my way, like you said, and you don't like your way, that's not right. Yeah, right? Right, yeah. It's hard because we're having a tantrum, kind of, right? I think so. I think I'm having a tantrum because nobody lived up to my expectations. Things to go, yeah. So let's look at this. Tell me, what kind of state of mind are you in on people on December 25th? How do people usually feel on December 25th, whether you celebrate it or not? People being nice to each other. Give me some hearts out there. People are like, hey, you know what? It's Christmas. We're gonna celebrate. I'm gonna give. People are more giving. Let's pay for another coffee behind me, right? December 25th. What are people like? Yeah, throw me some hearts if you agree. We're usually, right, in a good state of mind. Everybody's excited about the holidays, whether they celebrate one or the other holiday. They're excited about it. They're giving. They're in that moment of giving. What about on April 15th? How do people feel on April 15th? You guys know what April 15th is? Taxes. Are people buying coffee for people behind them on April 15th? What do you think? No, right? So those are two good contrasts of state of mind. So December might bring you into the happy time of sharing and giving. And then in April, you're like, dude, they're taking all my money, and you become more of a Scrooge and you're frustrated, right? Not necessarily, but those are kind of the two state of minds that you can see. And so these anchors trigger emotions. So it's getting clear in our own brain to get rid of the old rituals. So now that you've identified your emotions, how you feel, and the expectations that trigger them, now we can look and say, how do we change that, Mary? I don't know how to do it. Well, you got to interrupt the pattern. And so what does that mean? It's like a record, right? So when you take a record, I'm talking old school records, right? And you've got that pattern on the record. But if you scratch it up, what's going to happen to that record? What's going to happen? It's not going to play. It's not going to play the same song. It's not going to play it the same way. So you have to interrupt the pattern. And I'm glad all of you guys are still on with me, because that means that you want to interrupt the pattern. You want to make a change. So it's like cracking that record and doing something silly. So Tony Robbins will say something like, he had us do this. He had us pick our nose. So we had to tell ourselves that story that we would tell ourselves, like, I'm a terrible mom, I'm never going to be a good mom, and like stick our finger up our nose and do this like weird thing. And it was like really silly and stupid, but he had us do it like 7 times and then say all those things. By the end of it, I was just laughing. I wasn't even taking myself seriously anymore. I didn't feel like I was a terrible mom. I realized that this was stupid. So what happened? He interrupted the pattern. So instead of going to that dark place of depression and anger, interrupting the pattern. Here's a couple things that you can do to interrupt the pattern. Number one, you can just like slap yourself in the face when you got it happening. Pull your hair, make a silly noise, like flap your arms like a bird. I don't know, anything that's going to get you out of that state. And what I found for me is to find a fun song and put it on and just start dancing, because dancing always gets me in a better mood. Shaking my booty always gets me in a better mood. And so I decided, instead of getting mad at my kids, that's what I was going to do, and to keep interrupting the pattern. So that's the key. You have to find something to interrupt the pattern. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to take a second here and list, and you can throw them on here if you want to, or just on your piece of paper. List the 5 emotions that you usually feel, your go-tos. Ready, set, let's go. List them, 5 of them, and leave a space under them. So mine is usually anger. The second one might be stress. These are all so positive, right? When I write them down, I'm like, geez. Another one might be overwhelmed, which kind of goes with stress, but let's do it. Overwhelmed, depressed, and then the last one might be disappointment. Okay, so you've listed your 5 kind of little emotions that you might be having. Circle your top 2. I'm going to circle the anger and the stress, because I get those all the time, no matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. I could be just at home and I'm going to still be stressed out, because that's how my body runs. So I have created that ritual, right? And so to break it. So now what I want you to do is I want you to write the rituals that are associated with these. So, example for me. The ritual for anger, what was it again? It's expectations that everyone didn't clean the house like I wanted them to. Now, when I write this down, I'm kind of feeling stupid. Why would I expect all of them to really do that? These expectations are really high. No wonder I'm angry all the time. So that's number 1. If you guys want to share yours, throw it out there. Hi, Junior. Nice to see you. Okay. I know that one of my friends, Sally, said aggravation. Sally, do you want to share? What's the ritual that you do to get aggravated? What happens? Share it with me. Come on, guys. Share them. Stress for me, I stress myself out. Nobody else stresses me out. It's just me, because my to-do list is way over my own expectations. So I make something that's not really tangible. So and then I get mad at everybody else. so there it is. Oh, it's okay if you're late. I'm so happy you're here, Jill. Jill, we're writing down 5 emotions that we might feel and then the rituals that go behind them. You're going to want to rewind this one because I think you're going to like it. So, okay, yes. Okay, so when you're feeling like that, Crystal, you feel like you're in tears and you can't get out of it. Okay, you got to get out of that state. So, Crystal, I'm going to give you a recommendation. Do you like to shake your booty? I know that sounds funny. In the Tony Robbins things, they called it the attitude, the shaking of your booty, creating these like endorphins in your body to get you into a better mood. And it really does work. Because you know, when you dance and you move your body and that physiology changes everything. You go from this really, really depressed mode to feeling better instantly. So if you can break that pattern by putting on a song and just dancing it out a little bit, I promise those tears are going to go away. It really does change it. Natalie, thanks. Stress and anxiety. Okay, you stress yourself out getting everything just right. Being perfect, my wife, teacher, yes. Oh my gosh, me too. I'm just like that. And then I'm mean to everybody. So what do you think, Natalie? Are we doing a good ritual for ourselves? Because if we're going to be a good wife and mom and we're stressed out and mad at everybody, are we accomplishing our mission? No. So we got to change that. Write down if you're feeling overwhelmed, what are your rituals? What are you doing for those rituals? Overwhelmed for me, too many tasks. So maybe I need to tell myself I'm only going to do 3 things today instead of 12, right? What about depressed? Any of you feeling depressed out there? What are the things that you tell yourself that get you into depressed mode? I mean, you got to work at getting depressed. You listen to sad songs. What else? You tell yourself how terrible you are. Is that really true? You tell yourself how terrible your life is. Is that really true? Or can you think of like 10 things that you're grateful for right now? You can. Even in the midst of terrible things going on, there's so many great things going on, right? So all of these things come back to expectations. Whether you're putting the expectation on yourself or on others, what are the rituals you set up for yourself? Okay, anybody else want to share what they did? So once you have these down, share them up here if you want to. This is the power, is taking the moment. I want to not be depressed because my family needs me. Yes, okay. So Crystal, you have to identify the things that are making you depressed. So you go into depressed mode. You got to list it. What do you do to get there? There's certain things that you're doing every single day that are getting you there. Because things aren't right. You want them to go all the way okay, so I think these expectations are either put on others and yourself, and you're just like not getting that perfection that you want. So you start to go down that downward spiral, right? I get it. So you have to get out of that, right? So first you need to identify how you're getting there so then we can get you out of there. So once you've identified everything that's getting you in that depressed mode, right? Now you know. Oh, I know, because when I walk in the door, I already expect everybody to have done their chores. So those are not really the best expectations. And then I go into being angry and yelling at everybody. That's what I do. And then after that, I feel terrible after it. And then I feel like I'm a terrible mom. So there's what I do in my ritual. And I do it every day. So that's not good. So how are we going to get out of this, right? How do we get out of it? Break the pattern. So what I want you to do now, we're just going to take a couple more minutes. Hopefully you're going to stay with me because I got to give you the finishing piece. Now that you have identified the negative beliefs that you do to yourself, now you got to think of 5 empowering beliefs. 5 things that enhance your life. Things that make you feel strong and feel so good, right? And if we can switch and flip these, right? So instead of anger, I can go into gratefulness. I come home and my kids are healthy and alive. Because if they weren't, do you think I'd really care about the shoes and the stuff that was all over the floor? Do you think I really would? And 20 years from now, am I really going to care that they left stuff all over the floor? Probably not. Because I'm going to miss them, that they're not making a mess at my house. So gratefulness is a good way to switch. They're alive and healthy and strong. Another thing too is appreciation. Instead of expectation, having appreciation. maybe they didn't meet my standards, but they did this. And so instead of breaking my kids apart because they didn't do this, appreciate what they did do. And just grab it and empower them and make them feel amazing for what they did do, right? And then that's going to make them light up. And I bet you, if I do that more, they're going to start fulfilling some of the expectations without me having them. So another thing, appreciation of people and gratefulness and something else. So, I mean, gratitude, I feel like, and appreciation are going to be your top two. What else? Can you guys think of anything else that's empowering, that makes you feel like it helps you embrace your life? And so those are the things you want to switch out today. Start today. You know now what habits and rituals you've created to create these negative emotions. Look, I listed all these ugly emotions, and I know exactly what makes me there. I can get out of it. I can fight it by switching these out for appreciation and gratefulness. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. There's going to be a part 2 because there's more to unload of this. So next Monday, I'll tap on the second part and really help us expand our 5 empowering beliefs to help us get out of these habits and rituals that just bring us down, and we stay in that angry state, the depressed state, the stressed state. We don't have to stay there. There's no reason to. We can give ourselves all the excuses of why we should be depressed, that all these things are terrible. You can stay there. That's how you got there. Get out of there. Even if you had deaths and you have things are falling apart and you don't have money, there's always something to be grateful for. Maybe in that moment, all you have is that you have your body and that the sun is shining on you and that you have warmth, that you can breathe. But there's always things to be grateful for. The time we have with our family and appreciate what we have left. OMG, you are the best. Thank you for the therapy session. Hey, Crystal, I'm just going to put this on here. I do not have any of these things down. And as I share them with you, I'm learning them and I'm trying to put them into practice. And what's been fun about this for me is that I'm just realizing a lot of things about myself at home. I'm just really angry at home a lot. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I'm a happy person. I've always been a real happy, joyful person. But now I know that it's all these expectations I put on my children that they can't meet. And I need to change that. It's not them. It's me. It's all me. But the great news is, don't go into the terrible state, right? Depressed. I was just going to go in the depressed state. It's me. I'm a terrible mom. No way. I'm a really good mom too. I make food for my kids. I love them. Take care of them. I provide for them. These are all the good things. But I can improve in this area. And they're going to shine brighter if I do. So I want to encourage you guys, go out there, be more appreciative and grateful. And sit with these. Analyze yourself. Take a moment to really think about why you do the things that you do. And when I meet with you guys next on Monday for more of this, come back with me and let me know, or share them on Messenger and let me know where you're at with this and your journey. I would love to hear it. And Crystal, thank you for sharing and opening up. I know that you didn't feel like it at first, and then you did. Yay! You got the big emoji. Do you guys like all these crazy emojis? I got these from the Tony Robbins thing. And this one from Cliff's birthday. You guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and just blessings to you guys. And I hope that you can remember that we don't have to sit in these negative things, and God doesn't want that for us. He doesn't want us to sit in overwhelmed, depressed, disappointment, stress, shame, guilt. No, God erases all those things, and every day that we're alive means that we get another chance to have a better life. And so you get to choose how you're going to live your life. You can choose the negative state. You can choose a good state of mind. And God gives us that power that we can do that. Yes? Awesome, guys. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow. I will be working out tomorrow, okay? Thanks for letting me take a day off from my leg. And I will see you soon. God bless you guys. Have an amazing day.